Hi everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Red Zone, brought to you by the Real Estate Center at Texas A&M University. I'm Haley Reeder, Communications Specialist. Today is Wednesday, August 28th, 2019. On this day in 1902, Newt Gresham and 9 other men founded the Farmers Educational and Cooperative Union of America, now known as the National Farmers Union. The first charter was in Point in Rains County in northeast Texas. Gresham wanted the Farmers Union, the successor to the old Farmers Alliance, to emphasize economic cooperation and avoid the involvement in partisan politics that he believed had destroyed earlier farm organizations. He wanted the organization to go no further than lobbying for farmers' interests. In 1903, he founded the Farmers Union Password, the organization's official publication. The Farmers Union held its first state convention in February 1904 and its first national convention in 1905. At the latter, Gresham was named national organizer. When you think of the word blockchain, what comes to mind? For many, the first thought is Bitcoin. But the technology has so many more applications than just cryptocurrency, and its scope is expanding. According to the United States Blockchain Business Opportunities and Outlook Databook Series report released earlier this year, blockchain spending in the U.S. is expected to grow 44.5% from 2016 to 2025, reaching $41.1 million. Additionally, the International Data Corporation projects that global blockchain spending will reach $12.4 billion in 2022. So, what exactly is blockchain and how can it be used in real estate? Center Research Economist Dr. Torres and student intern Kyle Brann wrote a technical report called Blockchain and Real Estate. They're here today to talk more about the innovation. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us, Haley.
All right, so what is blockchain and how does it work?
So basically, it's a new way of completing transactions, basically while reducing costs and increasing transparency. It's also called a distributed ledger technology. So it's more like it operates like synchronized ledgers where you introduce information or not. So it allows you to do the transactions. All the participants are involved. In like this is like a block. There's like a ledger of every single transaction, right?
Yeah. So I think just another way of saying that would be that blockchain is a digital ledger used to record transactions in cyberspace. I think that's another way you could put it.
Yeah, I think that's very different.
So it's kind of like tracking changes in like a Google Doc. So like everyone who goes to that document sees exactly what happened.
Yes, precisely, except the fact that with a Google Doc, pretty much anyone can go in and just change it.
Yeah.
And with blockchain, what it does is it allows you to go in and have complete transparency and security, knowing that what you're looking at has been completely validated by everyone else that's reached a consensus within the network. That way, if someone were to go in and try and make a change, it would be like pinged for everyone to see, and you would be able to know that this change is not allowed to occur.
So what are some non-real estate applications of blockchain? I know the first thing to come to everyone's mind is Bitcoin.
Exactly. So in 2009, Bitcoin started. It's a digital currency, and basically it's an application of blockchain. So when you think of a blockchain, think about like any operating system of Microsoft, Windows, Apple S4. So think about this would be like an app, right? This would be like an application of blockchain. And it's been the most famous one, and it's in the news about digital currencies. And I think there's more than 1,000 currencies now, digital currencies. So that's one of the major uses of blockchain. But it's more than that.
Yeah, it's much more. I think one way that people are even seeing applications is in the music industry. Mm-hmm. People are using it as a way to include ownership rights, royalty distribution. Because I know the music industry has a lot of those type of problems. So essentially what they're doing is they're also utilizing smart contracts, which they're using in real estate as well. And what that does is, let's say a producer and an artist was to come to an agreement on royalty rights or something. As soon as the earnings would come in, the artist would get paid in a digital currency such as Bitcoin or Litecoin, Ethereum, whichever one they agree to use. And then the royalties would immediately come in and be redistributed based on the criteria that the blockchain was set to.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. I did not know that. So how can blockchain be used in real estate, and how would it affect the industry?
So going back to Kyle mentioned the smart contract part of it. So you can automatically authenticate buyers and sellers. So basically, what you're going to do, what's going to happen, is you're going to eliminate the middleman.
Yeah.
Like telecompanies, right? Because all the buyer and seller that's involved can authenticate. This is the property I'm buying, and this is the price. Everybody involved, or even the bank, right? The mortgage lender could be involved in that blockchain, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, well, the title company, you would need that, because at the end of the day, they're certifying that he owns the house and he's selling it, he's buying it, and this is the mortgage rate. So you're eliminating that middleman. So through that, well, you're lowering cost, you're making it more efficient, question of time, the process. So at the end of the day, you have a more faster and reduced cost, more efficient way to do transactions. So basically, going back to what I was saying originally, it eliminates the middleman. There's not going to be a middleman involved.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. I know one, just to kind of put it as an example, like if you were to do a commercial deal and one developer is going in with someone else on the deal, they can immediately put the developer's earnings into some sort of blockchain. That way they would only be released once the building was complete or construction was met and all of the agreements had been confirmed.
Yeah, you eliminate the need for paper records, right?
Yeah.
So you eliminate that paper thing, and also the registration of the land. You could have a blockchain or a program involved in that, and I buy the house, and then it goes directly to the city that says Haley owns this piece of land. So you also make that more efficient. So there's no more paperwork or papers. If our audience know what it means to when you buy a house, right, or when you rent a house, you still have to fill out all these paperwork and copies, et cetera, et cetera. Well, that would be gone, because you're there. You have maybe your electronic signature, and you're accepting that transaction, and everybody involved is saying yes, we agree or don't agree with that, right?
And I think that also goes into it reduces the need for a lot of litigation fees, such as lawyers, title offices, things of that nature.
And you can eliminate human error, right? Because if you have a program there that tells you, what, the house cost this is the actual square footage of the house, there's no issue later on. Oh my God, no, this is wrong. You missed it by 2 meters. So somebody who's capturing the data in the county, makes an error, right? It captures the correct information. So you also make it more efficient, because you eliminate the human error part of it also.
Now, are some real estate companies already using this kind of technology, or is it still in its infancy?
I think what we've seen, based on the article, Kyle shared with me some interesting things about, especially commercial real estate. I think that's the one. They've done kind of like a crowdfunding, and also there was this company that actually was asking for money for transactions for developments, right? That's the only thing I've seen initially.
I think there's also ways that people are looking at it is from an investor standpoint. So let's say a bunch of people want to go in and invest on a property. They're looking at a new way of doing it on a tokenized system, which would essentially be if you were to use Bitcoin or something like that. People could come in and invest using Bitcoin at different percentages of their investment. And that's an application that we're seeing people already starting to use.
So
what challenges does blockchain technology face?
So Kyle, I'll start with that one, because he it's there, those kind of things, how do you make it transparent, and also you try to eliminate illegal transactions, right? Let's say, if you have the experience of recently buying a house, they ask you where did the money come from, right? So in this case, you have to be careful. One thing going forward would be there has to be something there that maybe you have to answer to, I don't know, the IRS when you buy the house, where does your funds come? It could be part of the blockchain. Mm-hmm. So that would be one thing. The other thing is standardization. It's still up there. It's a great idea. But to become a general purpose technology, there has to be a way to actually do it and make it efficient and easy to use, right? That everybody can use it and understand how to use it, right? There still hasn't been that. And once you get to that point, you have general accepted standards that will help you that. Second thing, I think, the scalability, of the computer power. The major issue that everybody hears when they do Bitcoin is that it takes a lot of computing power and energy to make a transaction for Bitcoin purchasing or selling, right? That's a major issue. So that goes back to that improving that technology where you're not going to need that much computer power or that much energy to make a transaction. And that goes back to the technology part of it. And also security, right?
Absolutely.
You can have right now the best security ever. But what happens later on if, what happens? Technology improves and the hackers get better also, right?
Yeah.
So what happens if they get your code or they find a way to get your algorithm or something like that, and they can, go into your transactions and default it or do something with that. So I think those would be the three major issues facing blockchain. That's why we haven't seen that a lot. But again, once there's that technology, that standardization. Somebody, a guy like somebody or a lady develops awesome software that can use it, and it becomes standardized and the general purpose technology. Wow, watch out.
Yeah.
I would say the only other thing that I would add is that there needs to be some sort of universal regulation. That way, everyone is following the same guidelines. Because I think right now there's a lot of different types of blockchains that people are using for different things, and I think that there needs to be some sort of just ground rules set for everybody that everyone needs to follow. That way, like you were saying, we can have that more standardization approach of how people are using their blockchains and utilizing it.
Yeah, and it goes to Kyle's point. It's going to be more efficient and everything, but still you have to have some regulation, right?
Yeah.
Especially the legal transaction, like you said, and that goes back to that, and also the regulation that the format you have, that standardization, it does follow what the government wants you to do when you register a land or do a transaction, right? I think that's important also, right? There's going to be some regulation for those people who don't like regulation, but I think it would make it faster if you have something there. Something can be developed to make it a more efficient, but still you need some kind of supervision, like currently cryptocurrencies don't have, and that's one of the knocks that people have against cryptocurrency: the lack of regulation on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it would bring a lot more, it would give people a lot more faith in it, because I think a lot of people hear cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, blockchain, and everyone thinks it sounds great, maybe the next best thing, but I think they're lacking in understanding of what it is and actually what its potential holds for the future.
Yeah. Like, I definitely know, is it really secure? And I know that's definitely a fear a lot of people have, especially since there's not a lot of regulation surrounding it. It's like, can it get stolen, or can the government take it? Is it real money? That kind of thing.
Yeah, I think those are all great questions that will have to be addressed once.
Yeah. Like Kyle, you guys mentioned it, and it's interesting because you see all these central banks. If you see, like, especially our central banks, the Federal Reserve, they've been talking about that. You heard when you saw that Facebook, when it stopped their currency, right, using dollars, the Fed and the government was like, wait, let's stop it. Let's see what's the use, what's going to be the use, the cost, because these new system of payments, you have to figure out, what's the best way to use them. How are you going to regulate them? How are you going to stop illegal security part or illegal transactions on them? So it's not as easily when you implement, new systems of payments.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, thank you guys for coming on today.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Thanks again to Luis and Kyle. You can read their article, Blockchain and Real Estate, on our website. The link is on our podcast webpage and in the YouTube description box. This article is posted in our research library, which includes a wide variety of economic reports and real estate articles. Topics out now include Texarkana's economy, Texas land markets, limiting personal liability, Northeast Texas croplands, subprime lending, and more. We included a link to the research library on our podcast webpage. That's going to be it for today's podcast. If you want more from the Real Estate Center, follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Instagram. You can also check out our website. That's www.recenter.tamu.edu for the latest data, research articles, blogs, news, and more. For more podcasts like these, you can subscribe on iTunes or to our YouTube channel. All podcasts are also available for free on our website. Thanks for joining us today in the Real Estate Red Zone, brought to you by the Real Estate Center in College Station, Texas, where we've been helping Texans stay informed about new business tools since 1971. This is Haley Reeder signing out. I'll see you next time. Bye!